When I got back from my trip to Japan, all I wanted was to sit by my pond, feed the koi, and let my mind breathe for a bit. Instead, I came home to a giant hole, muddy, dry, lifeless. The pond I'd loved for years, gone. And the best part? The HOA drained it while I was gone. Thing is, I'm not even in the damn HOA. Name's Logan Carter, retired environmental engineer. Bought my home in Thistle Creek for peace and privacy. Big yard, no nosy neighbors, and a pond built by the previous owner, fed by a natural spring. I kept to myself, by choice. Never signed up for the HOA. They knew it. I made sure they knew it when I moved in. My neighbor Greg, old firefighter, no-nonsense guy, was the first to greet me when I came back. He saw my face when I pulled up and knew something was wrong. I asked him, "Where the hell's my pond?" Greg just shook his head and said, "You're not going to believe this, man." Turns out, while I was overseas, a group of guys with industrial pumps rolled onto my land like they owned the place. Claimed they were commissioned by the HOA to drain the pond for historical preservation purposes. Said there might be buried treasure from the Depression era. No joke. Treasure. And somehow, that gave them the right to come onto my property and suck every drop of water out. So I did what any pissed-off American would do. I called the HOA president. His name's Philip Knox. Smug guy. Always has that look like he's smelling something bad but trying to act polite about it. The second he picked up, I said, "Philip, what the hell did you people do to my pond?" He starts with that condescending tone. "Mr. Carter, the HOA acted in the interest of the community. There were credible rumors of buried historical artifacts." I said, "On my land? I'm not under your jurisdiction." And he had the audacity to say, "Sometimes personal interests have to yield to the greater good." That's when I stopped talking. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I hung up, opened my laptop, and called someone who does know the law. Sarah Elridge, my attorney. She's sharp, knows real estate and environmental code like the back of her hand. I laid it all out. She listened, real quiet, then said, "They're done." We went through every document. My deed, HOA boundaries, county records. Not an inch of my land fell under their control. Zero. And then Sarah leaned back in her chair, grinned, and said, "They just trespassed, destroyed private property, disrupted a self-contained ecosystem, and likely violated 2 state environmental codes." We filed the lawsuit the next morning. $176,000, that's what we were going after. Restoration costs, emotional distress, animal cruelty for the displaced wildlife, and punitive damages, not just for what they did, for the arrogance behind it. About a week later, Philip called again. Voice all shaky now. Said the HOA was willing to offer a gesture of goodwill, $10,000. I almost laughed. I told him, "This isn't about money anymore. It's about making sure you never do this to anyone else." Court day came. Philip strutted in like he owned the courtroom. Suit pressed, hair slicked back, smug as ever. His evidence? A grainy black and white photo from the 1930s that he claimed showed a metal box at the bottom of the pond. Said it might be an old cash vault or something. Sarah stood up, calm as ever, and said, "Your Honor, the defendant's justification is a rumor, a story passed around like a fairy tale. Meanwhile, my client has pictures of his drained pond, expert testimony on the environmental damage, and proof that no permission was granted for entry onto the property." The judge didn't even hide his irritation. He looked at Philip and said, "You acted on hearsay, destroyed wildlife, trespassed, and have no legal claim to this land. This isn't just negligence, it's hubris. We won. All $176,000 awarded, plus an environmental fine slapped directly onto the HOA, something like an extra $30,000. Philip tried to act composed, but you could see the sweat. His empire cracking. And the best part? A few months later, the HOA got so desperate to cover their losses, they started auctioning off assets. One of those assets, their beloved clubhouse, the same building where Philip used to hold all those smug meetings, wagging his finger at people over lawn lengths and fence heights. Guess who bought it? Yep, me. I turned it into a community garden. Open to everyone. No dues, no rules, no HOA oversight. Just folks growing vegetables, planting flowers, bringing their kids. I put up a new sign out front that reads, "Freedom grows here." Oh, and the pond. I rebuilt it. Got help from a local conservation group. Brought back koi, turtles, even added motion-detecting cameras. Greg says it's now the most secure body of water in the whole damn state. As for Philip, word is he sold his house and moved 2 states over. Rumor has it he's in a condo with no HOA. Fitting, huh? So next time someone says you can't fight the HOA, just remember, I bought their clubhouse. Who really owned the neighborhood after all?